Here we are in page 22, and we've got right triangle trigonometry. So we're starting with sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent is opposite over adjacent. When we have a right triangle such as this, here's our angle that we're talking about, and then this guy would be the opposite. Here's the hypotenuse. And here is the adjacent, meaning next to, all talking in reference to this angle. If we, for some reason, are talking about this angle up here, then this guy would be the opposite, and this guy would be the adjacent. Good, that gives us a little bit of background. So we're going to be solving a lot of equations. We're going to get some practice with the equations right here to make sure that we can do this on our calculators. So sine of 63, we're in degrees right now. And so sine of 63, that's a number that is just always, if you have 63 degrees up here, the opposite over the hypotenuse, done. That is a ratio and it pops up on your calculator. 63 sine is like that is 0.891. So this side will always be 0.891 of the hypotenuse with sine of 63. But we're solving these algebraic equations and we don't need to totally go into all of the history of sine, cosine, and tangent. So in order to solve this for x, we need to times by 7 and times by 7. And we get, so sine of 63 times by 7, and that equals 6.24. 6.24. All right, here if we're trying to get y by itself, times by 3, times by 3. So we've got 3 times the cosine of 54. 54 cosine times 3 equals 1.76. So y equals 1.76. Let's try the next one. Tangent of 38 equals b over 10. So times both sides by 10 to get b by itself. Yeah, 10 times the tangent of 38. 10 times 38 tangent equals, and we get 7.81. b is 7.81. Alrighty, good. Let's do sine of 43 equals t over 11. We're going to just times by 11. Times by 11. And we get 11 times the sine of 43. 43 sine equals, and we get 7.50. T equals 7.5. Okay, number 5. We get cosine of 32 equals y over 13. We're going to solve for y by timesing both sides by 13. And we get 13 times the cosine of 32. 13 times 32 cosine equals, and it's going to be 11.02. Y equals 11.02. And number 6, when we try this one, tangent of 47 equals 35 over q. Uh-oh. All of these previous 5 problems that we've been going through, we've been able to multiply by the denominator and the variable has been on the top. Notice here, if we times by q and times by q, we don't get the variable by itself. That's gone over here, but now we have to divide by the tangent of 47. So we actually get q equals 35 divided by this number that's in the calculator, tangent of 47. So when we pull this out, we've got to do 35 divided by the 47 tangent. And that's going to equal 32.63. 32.63. Good. That's good to know. Let's do another one very similar to that. Here we're going to have to times by x to get it up here off the bottom there, and then divide by the sine of 36. So when we divide by that, we've got sine of 36 down here. So we've got to have that x equals 32 divided by the sine of 36. 36 sine equals, and it's 54.44. Good. Number 8 says cosine of 12 equals 15 over a. Again, we've got to multiply that a up here, and the cosine of 12 has to be down here. Cosine of 12. Okay, let's punch that in. 15 divided by 12 cosine equals, and we get 15.34. A equals 15.34. Number 9. Here we can times by 10, and we don't have to do any division at all. 10 times the tangent of 36. 36 tangent times 10 equals, that's 7.26. So B equals 7.265, so 27. Good. All right. So those are just very easy one-step algebra problems, but you have to watch out when the variable is on the bottom. You can still solve it. It's not a problem. You just have to organize it correctly. So when we get to number 10, sine of an angle alpha equals 2 over 7. So we've got a 2 over a 7, and we've got to find out what the angle is. And we use, in this case, we're going to say alpha is the opposite, so sine inverse of 2 over 7. And that's how it'll work. Sine of an angle gives you a number. Sine inverse of a number will give you that angle. So let's go back. We're going to take 2 divided by 7. There's the number. And so we've got to do inverse sine. And we get 16.6. So alpha is going to be 16.6 degrees. That's kind of interesting. If you have a triangle like this, and you have a 2 there and a 7 there, and you're in a right angle, the opposite over the adjacent is 2, 7. Here's alpha right there. It tells you exactly that was a 16.6 degree angle. All right, let's try gamma now. Cosine of gamma equals 2/3. So that means we're going to do gamma equals cosine inverse of 2/3. Now you notice on this calculator, it's just on the computer, they do cosine inverse of 2/3. So you take 2 divided by 3. Now hit inverse, there's the inverse button, and it changes it to cosine inverse. And another way of saying it is arc cosine in degrees, and they put a little d there to help you understand that you got it in degrees, equals 48.19 degrees. 48.19 degrees. Okay, that's gamma. Number 12, tangent of beta equals 11 over 10. So we'll take 11 over 10 in our calculator. 11 divided by 10, and that'll equal inverse tangent. And we get 47.73 degrees. Beta equals 47.73 degrees. Okay, number 13. We're going to do sine of theta equals 6/11. So we've got to do 6/11. 6 divided by 11. Good. And we get inverse or shift sine. And we get 33.06 degrees. Theta equals 33.06 degrees. Number 14, cosine of alpha equals 7/8. Take 7 divided by 8 equals, and inverse cosine. And we get 28.96 degrees. Alpha equals 28.96 degrees. And finally, the last one, tangent of theta equals 12 over 21. 12 divided by 21 equals an inverse tangent. We get 29.74 degrees. 29.74 equals theta. Good.